Thank you for being here. Hi, folks. Hi, folks. So a little weird. I've got humans in front of my face here, and then you guys on the screen. So I'm gonna try and talk to everybody at the same time. But quickly, I'm actually just gonna say, hi. I'm Andrea King. I'm the president and CEO of Anywhere But Here Travel. I'm so thankful that you are here. Uh, Really, it totally is not about me. It's about you and introducing you to Amadeus River Cruises with our friend Steve. Steve, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And
Thank you.
yeah, and we have I honestly I can only see a couple people. I'm sure there are a few more people. If I'd have to scroll over, I'm not going to touch the computer. I don't want to screw it up. So, um, I see a couple names that I know. So thank you so much for being here. And just so everybody knows, I'm sure you already heard Monica speaking.
Oh, hello.
And Monica is right here, our vice president and rock star. And Kara, I think, is manning the chat. So
right there.
oh, there she is. Hi, Kara. So she's here and in the other room. So yay. So Steve, I'm gonna let you take it away. All right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Monica, did you want to say something real quick?
Yep, I'm good. I'm good. Go for
Well, again, thank you all for being here, either present over there and online. I'm here to talk about one of the hottest products in travel for the last 22 years now. Took off in 2002 and just kept soaring and soaring. It plateaued a little bit in 2019, but then post-COVID, now with all the pent-up demand, it's hard to get space 2 years in advance for Christmas markets nowadays. So it really, really is taken off. I've been in the travel industry for over 31 years. I've been selling river cruising for 22 years. I've been on 22 river cruises. So I know my river cruises quite well. And over all these years, with all the friendly travel advisors I've met through the years, it seems like I know all the products very well because they will always tell me the pros and cons of their experience with some of the other river cruise lines. So to get on about Amadeus, a lot of people don't know the name of Amadeus River Cruises, but they've actually are the oldest river cruise line out there. We've been around for 42 years, most of those years, 32 years in Europe, and in the last 10 years in Chicago, minus 2.5 years because of COVID. But we don't market to the public, and we let the other guys do that, and we know that good travel advisors will tell them some of the other options because many consumers think there's only one or two river cruise lines, but there's about six or seven out there. So Amadeus is a five-star river cruise product, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them as we go through these slides. Just to give you some quick little advantages uh, about us, so you can kind of remember, make it real easy for you. We're a five-star luxury river cruise line for the four-star price. And really, that is true. It's not just a saying. Every other river cruise line, they're either a five-star product, a four-star product, or even a three-star product. Not too many of those for the US market, but for the European market. None can really say they're a five-star product for the four-star price like us, because we basically give everyone the group price to get your attention, as we do with travel advisors that kind of take a second look at that price. And when I'm talking five-star price for luxury for the four-star price, we're looking about $2,500, okay, for a 8-day, five-star, almost all-inclusive river cruise. Now that is a pretty good price, and I'll show you that and prove everything as I go down. And with that $2,600 average, that includes port charges, and not everybody does. Like 50% don't. And you're looking at um, you know, um, another cost on there for port charges and fees, and we even include gratuities, which is like another 150 to $200 per person. So with that $2,600 entry level price, including the port charges, which others charge another two something on there, depending anywhere from 150 to 200, depending on the cruise. So that's a really good deal. And with that being said, no one can beat our value proposition and reach. And that's the beauty of it. Consumers that have been looking for river cruising for 22 years because their friends, neighbors, organizations have sponsored a group like Monica is now doing. Um, they look at 4,000 plus, 20 years ago and go, no can do. So now with this kind of price, when you see it, a lot more first timers are getting into river cruising. And just like when you do ocean for the first time or a land, when you do it, it's like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. And you want to do it again and again and again. So that's the beauty about that as well. So one of the other ways we do that is we unbundle one of the products, which is excursions. Okay. Now, for a lot of people think that's a pros and cons, and I thought so too in the beginning, because I worked for another river cruise line that includes it for 15 years. I worked for them. And over the years, we would have consumers not be happy because they included all the excursions, but they wanted to do something on their own, but they felt bad because they paid for the excursions that were included, so they weren't happy. Or they did what they paid for, but they wanted to do something different. We believe you pay for what you use, you customize your excursions by choosing packages, which I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so that's how you're able, because the ones that include all the excursions, you may have 3 or 4 choices. Uh, the 1 to 2 days that cities that you visit per day, I mean, the 1 to 2 cities that you visit per day, you might have 3 or 4, the ones that include them all, but you can only usually do one at the same time. So everyone is paying for those other 2 to 3 options that are available, but you didn't choose. But you're paying about 20 to 30% more to have those available, to have those motor coaches there, to pay for those guides, to pay for the gas, et cetera, et cetera. So by taking that 20 to 30% out and letting you pick and choose, that's where you get a really good savings. Wait till you see our walk-in closets. There's no other fleet that I know of that have all the closets that we have. Some just have them in the suites. We have them in the middle and top deck, which is pretty much most of the cabins. And here's another big thing to remember. Single supplement. If there's any singles out there, you know that it's really hard to find anything for anything less than 175%. So in other words, 100, what you're paying double, and then another 75 to 100%. We only charge 15% single supplement, and not in a 140 square foot box like some offer singles at a reduced rate, or you have to go on a solo cruise, which you didn't want to do that cruise, or you can't go that date. We do it on every single sailing, no limits, as long as there's seas there at 172 square feet, one of the biggest in the industry, at only 15%, as many as you want. So that is a not only for singles, but those that travel together. I've had the couples that say, you know what, I love you, roommate. We get along fine, but let's get our own room for only 15% more, right? And take another 2 more luggages, right? No, I'm kidding. But it really makes sense, and it's such a great deal. You cannot beat that anywhere. We have one of the youngest fleets in the industry, and our deck plans are easy to learn. Like I mentioned, we've been around since 1982, family owned and operated, which makes a difference because another thing that makes a difference, just so you understand, some river cruise lines don't even own their ships. They charter them. So they got to pay the middleman. So their prices are going to be higher from the get-go. Some that own their ships don't even run their food and beverage. They got to pay someone to do that. We run and operate everything with a fine-tooth comb. We control our smaller margins, but everybody wins. And that's how we're able to do that, by being an owner and ship operator as well. And we're a pioneer of doing this for so many years. Several other river cruise lines before they started talk to our owners to help them get into the industry. We're a passionate what we do. We're award-winning fleet, and again, family owned and operated. Here's a beautiful picture of Cologne, the majestic cathedral there and the beautiful bridge. This itinerary that I'll be focusing on a little bit, that's the one that Monica is leading the group, is a round trip Cologne. So that's a beautiful picture of Cologne there. I'm going to show you just a little 2-minute video. I'm not sure how many are first timers or are veterans, but just to give you a little day in the life of what a river cruise is, and I'll explain it a little bit more at the end as well. So here we go. Enjoy.
Me sound, Steve? Oh. Yeah, I don't have bolts. That was just a window. You don't actually need a fucking like. That's. That's a.
That's me.
That's.
I hope you enjoyed that. Uh, a few points to bring to your attention. Because I was always afraid of going on big ocean cruises because I'm very susceptible to seasickness. As you probably noticed, how the rivers are just glass-like. You don't even know you're moving. For my first couple of cruises, I took Bonine, just in case. But now I don't. You don't even know you're moving, and that's the beautiful thing for those that have motion sickness. Okay. Number two, it's country club casual. No coats and ties required. Um, it's very super casual for breakfast because you're going to be going out to your excursion. So basically, you start the morning either an early riser breakfast, a regular breakfast from anywhere from 7 to not to 9. You're normally out on your excursions between 8:30 or 9 o'clock. There's a late riser breakfast for those that want to just stay on the ship. You got your main lunch, sit down. Breakfast is sit down plus buffet, which is beautiful because you get to have a lot of choices to pick of the region, of specialties of the region that you get to pick and choose. And if you still wanted to sit down and order an omelet or eggs Benedict, you can do so. Same thing for lunch. You got a small buffet of local specialties. And you can sit down and order from the menu as well. You don't have to go to the buffet. You can order from the menu breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is nice. Not everyone does that. And then you have a light lunch also in the lounge. Then you have your dinner at 7-ish type of thing. And then you have like a 10 to 10:30 hors d'oeuvres and food just coming out just until people are gone or are full or don't want anymore. So after you do that city tour, you may have some time to after the city tour, a couple hours of the city tour, 2 to 3. They'll give you some time to shop, to go back to that little place where you saw that nice gift for someone in the window or that goodie in the window. Or you could just sit at a little outside cafe and wait till they say, okay, we're done with the excursion here. You have your audio headsets so you don't have to hover around the guide and not hear that person. You can be 50 to 80 feet away and look and take pictures of what you like. That's what I do, but you can still hear all the good stuff you need to hear about and not get left behind either. That's important. That's how it happened to me a couple times before audio headsets. And then again, you can just relax there and sit, and the guide will say, okay, you got an hour, half an hour, 2 hours to relax and meet me here again, and then I'll take you back by motor coach, or we'll walk back to the ship or for lunch, or sometimes you can have lunch at your favorite place, because the ship might not be leaving until after lunch. So definitely it's worth eating at a local specialty restaurant, and your guide can tell you, the front desk can tell you if you're really interested in a certain type of cuisine, or shops, they can tell you all that good stuff. You come back to the ship, you can either have lunch or after lunch, and then you cruise several hours to the next town. And then you do the same thing over. You get there on 3:30ish, 4 o'clock-ish. You're there for another 2 to 3 hours. Get back on the ship for dinner. Or again, the ship might be there till 10, 11, 2 in the morning. So I would again recommend to either have at least one meal off the ship, a lunch and a dinner. If not, after dinner, there's going to be entertainment, local and or our duo that resides on the ship. And after that, you can even go out, because again, the ship won't be leaving till midnight or 1, depending when they tell you to be back. You can go out. Most of the towns you can walk, not even a mile to the city center. It's different at night than when you did the city tour earlier. It's safe, it's romantic, and you might stumble upon a beer garden or a restaurant that's having some music, walk in and meet locals. They want to meet you just as much as you want to meet them. I have friends from all over these rivers, lifelong friends from over 20 years that we keep in touch, and many guests do the same thing. So that's definitely what you want to do. And many times I've walked back on the ship 10 minutes before it leaves. Okay. So definitely you don't have to, sleep when you get back home. Okay. You don't have to go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock every night. Get out, really explore. That's what this is all about. Now, I believe pictures paint 1,000 words. So these are some of my pictures and some of the company's pictures. This one is mine, of course. I love sweets, so you'll see a lot of pictures of food. These are just random, different ships. So I just like to show the different colors, and the styles are pretty much all the same. And that's what I'll show you a little bit later. You don't have to learn 9 different categories like some river cruise lines have, with different nuances of, well, this one's a little bigger, this one's a little smaller within that category. Ours are all the same, which makes it nice and easy to remember what you liked last time or what you want to upgrade to next time. So you can see how pretty they are. Here's the B and A cabin category. I love them. You don't have a walkout balcony that you use maybe only 4 or 5 times during an 8-day cruise, especially in the winter time when it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, it's dewy, and they have the plastic chairs out there because it gets dew. Here you can have really comfortable chairs that I'll show you the new ones where you can swivel around. You control that window, that top window, to go up and down however you want it, and you can lean on it just like a balcony. It gives you a bigger room, 188 square feet to 172 and smaller to my competitors. It gets you that walk-in closet. In the middle and top deck are these panorama windows that we call them, okay, on our ships. Now here's those incredible walk-in closets. Again, guests love these, okay, because you can't find them anywhere on other fleets except for, like I said, the suites. These are 2 pictures, so it looks kind of funny, but this is one picture on the right, and then I try to show the other picture on the left, how much room we have, all the little nooks and crannies. Your luggage fits under your bed, which some don't, believe it or not, not in our fleet. This is just another beautiful restaurant to show you. Another one here, it's European contemporary design. In the industry, you have a flu-flui company where it's just lots of flu-flui stuff, and all the way down to a very IKEA look, like they call it. We're kind of like in the middle to 3/4, not too flu-flui, not too generic, as you can see. And of course, you see those windows, you get to see everything going by you while you're having your lunch and your dinner, and sometimes breakfast. I thought I didn't like eggplant, but after I devoured this in a few seconds, someone told me it was eggplant, and I couldn't believe it. So you can see how beautiful um, they show the food, and it tastes just as good as they look, as you can see here. And the beauty of, I'll show you that in the next food slides, but this is the Queen. It's an indoor pool. Our new Amara is going to have this as well. It's the back lounge combined with the beautiful indoor pool, and you have a big sunroof that you can't see from this picture. Beautiful little seats around with floor to ceiling, very spa-like and very tranquil, Love it back there. I sailed on that ship, the Queen, not the new one yet. A beautiful staircase, just to gives you an idea of our different ships, the decor, not loud and just in your face, but just very nice. We have grand pianos, which is very rare. Most just have a little electric piano. It really makes a difference to have a grand piano in your lounge. Um, Here's your back lounge, which can hold anywhere from 24 to 45 in a group to have a little meeting or a continuing education for my medical groups and lawyer groups, all that good stuff. So you can go back there, very quiet. There's TV back there. There's games. There's books. There's a incredible coffee station. Well, it makes like I think 9 different drinks, hot chocolate, espressos, cappuccinos. Anytime you want, you can just go back there and get it. This is the pool I'm bobbing in right now. This is our Southern France ship. This is an infinity pool on the sun deck, which is, as you can see, incredible. So this is the shots of our another back lounge on one of our other ships, which just shows you the guest maximums and minimums. The 140 is the Provence ship with that ship, the pool on the top deck. So we don't put 175 to 190 like some do. So you really got to really look at what they're putting on, because when they're putting 170 to 190 passengers on the same footprint that we're putting on an average 158, something has to give, and that's cabin size and or public spaces like the gym. We have a gym on every one of our ships. We have a spa, masseuse room, a salon. Not everybody does. So that's what you got to really trust your TA to advise you or to look yourself. We actually have over 19 ships worldwide as far as product is not destination, but for the world. But the U.S. gets about 10 of the newest ships. They don't get any of the older ships that's given to the U.S. market when they choose their itineraries. As you can see, some of them here, we've been making new ship every year since 15, except for 21 because of COVID, and our the new one for 26 is already underway as well. So here's the deck plan. This is the Cara. This is the ship. I have a lot of pictures of this. I've sailed on the Cara, and this is the ship that is going to be on Monica's group that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So here we have the sun deck on the top here. The arrow that I just pointed to is the Mozart deck, where you have the dark blues, which are the suites, 224 square feet, a good size for river cruising. Then you have the lighter blue, the A's at 188 square feet to compare to one of our close competitors, 172 square feet. Then you have your Strauss deck, your B1s in the darker green, same 188 square feet, just like the A's, but they're in the lower deck. Now, I like sailing on the B deck. The A deck, Strauss deck, I mean the Mozart deck is a little more prestigious because that's where the suites are. Less people up there, but I really like the middle deck. Sometimes on the Mozart deck, you might hear a little noise when we're getting in or getting out of the docks because of the crew is moving some stuff around on the top, the gangplank. But it's not a major issue, but it's really nice in the middle deck as well. So it's just the same. When you're in dock, being on the Mozart deck, you may be above the wall and be able to see people walking by, which can be a good thing and can be a bad thing, depending on if you leave your curtains open and how you sleep at night. Oh, that's another story. But anyway, then you get into the B4s in the back, exactly the same as A's and B's. We just have to have a different price point. So they're exactly the same. You just have to walk a little bit more. And towards the back and the bottom and way up the front, where there's no cabins up front, except for crew, and then the crew back here, you'll get a little more of the creaking noises in the bottom deck, in the back, in the front, and the jets that kind of help you go the ship go in and out. Okay, that's why you only see the middle cabins for guests. So again, those are C1s on the dark orange, 172 square feet. Then the C4s are 172 square feet, just the same, but again, a little more towards the back, and you just have to walk a little bit farther to get to the middle here. Now, what's really important is we're one of the only fleets that I know of that has elevator for all 3 cabin categories. Most just have it in these 2 middle decks here, but let me tell you, Sometimes people, they don't tell you they have a mobility issue, or they don't know themselves because they overdo it for the first 2 nights, going a little too fast on cobblestones. And sometimes those stairs are a little spirally and a little tough to negotiate. So it's nice to have an elevator at all three cabin categories. Okay, so that's a huge, huge deal. Okay. So here's just to show you the 172 square feet, that C cabin category. You can see here it's pretty spacious to what's out there. These are large rectangle windows to give you a lot of light so you're not claustrophobic, because about 5 inches below that windowsill is the water. So you're like at 60% below the water line. We call this the swan level view or the duck level view. So I've sailed there many times. I find it quite soothing down there myself. So you need to know whether you're a person that wakes up, with the drop of a feather, or you don't wake up with the drop of a bowling ball, whether you want to be down there. Not that it's noisy, but again, you might hear a little of the slapping noise of the water hitting the side, which again, I find quite soothing myself. But very, very big, all kinds of good stuff, your dryers, your plugs, all that good stuff there. You could use an adapter, just a little plug that they can usually lend you, but they're pretty cheap to have those extra um, adapters that you need. You don't need a converter anymore. We do have connecting rooms in this C cabin category for children 5 to 17. They get a 30% discount. And again, then the second adult can get a discount at only 15% to have their own cabin. Okay. Then you get those B's and the A's, as you can see. These two chairs swivel around, very comfortable. They don't get wet like some of the others when you have a walkout balcony. You don't have any door sills to get in the way to obstruct your view. I love sitting on the back of the bed here, watching the big screen on TV and just seeing unobstructed views of castles and towns and all kinds of great stuff along the way. So big 188 square feet. We add in the walk-in closets and the mini bar. What's in the mini bar is not included, okay? So just to let you know, again, we believe people choose what they want to pay for, and not everyone wants to have a mini bar. And I usually take the things out and bring my own sodas or bring my own beers on board, which we allow you to do. You can bring wine on board, wine, local beer, bring them on board. You can open up the wine in your room, pour it in a glass, and walk around and take it to the dining room, no questions asked. Now you get your suites, 284 square feet. Bigger bathroom. I'll show you a little bit. This has actually a walkout closet, walkout balcony in the middle. You have a floor to ceiling here, another floor to ceiling behind the curtain, a little desk back there, this little couch on the left. And again, it adds the sofa and it adds the bathrobes and slippers for the suites, and even a bigger walk-in closet. So I mentioned that $2,600 as a kind of average price for an entry level, and here confirms it. It shows you a date here, entry level date at 2559. I mentioned $2,600 because this is September. Now that $2,600 is important because some people say, well, we start at X amount of price, but they don't tell you it's in the cold of winter or in April or March, which you don't want to go in March, February and March, which some do sail then. So this is high season, September, okay, for 2674. Now I mentioned that price there at high season at 2674. So that shows you what it is. Here's what also you'll see, and Monica has for her group date, which shows you the day to day, shows you the time you're in port and out. It shows you the city you're in. Again, no excursions are included, but you can purchase an A, B, or sometimes even a C package. These are the onboard prices to the left, very reasonable, 50s, 30s, 70s, 100, because it's a full day, a Salzburg extension with lunch. So you can sometimes go and say, okay, well, Bratislava is an easy day, and Monica can help you, or I can help you if you want to do that, which ones you can do on your own. And sometimes when you read it, you can see that, okay, I can do that on my own. These I want to do, I'll buy this package. I'll add this one because it's not on that A package. So you can customize what you want. By pre-purchasing the packages, you get like a 13-14% discount, which is helps you out. And then again, those that are not included in that package, you can buy on board at this price to the left here. Okay. And then over here, it shows you the transfers from like either train station, the airport to the port, vice versa. Very reasonable. You know, just like the beverages outside of lunch and dinner, outside of the local wine and local red and white wines that are included as much as you want for lunch and dinner. People always think we're going to triple the cost on a regular cocktail, or we're going to triple the cost on excursions or the transfers. We don't do that. They're very reasonable. We don't really make money on those things. We just want you to feel good that you're not going to be gouged, and you won't be. Just to show you another value comparison, I used to work for AMA Waterways, so I was the third person hired at AMA Waterways. They're a very well-known and very good five-star river cruise line, and we're the closest to that product. But just to show you value-wise, you can see here they're days apart, same itinerary. We have a brand new ship, the Riva, compared to the 218. Our entry level is 174, so 172. Theirs is 160. Our price is 26.74 published fare. Theirs is 42.99. We include taxes, fees, and port charges and gratuities. They don't. You're looking at another 220 for port charges, another for 157 for prepaid gratuity. So you're looking at 46.80 compared to 26.74. But to be fair, they include all the excursions. We don't. So we add one of our highest ones because they're really not that high. They're range from 200 to 600 average. And I'll show you the one for the group coming up. So you can look at the price here and you can look at the price there. I mean, a significant difference, especially single supplement. So when it's all said and done, you're looking at about a 28% difference in price and double occupancy and 44% difference in single supplement. So again, some of the reasons are because we take out our excursions, we don't include all of them, which really raises the price there, and we run and operate everything and just give you the group rate at a smaller margin than other companies. To be fair to AMA Waterways, I included some other five-star river cruise lines, except for Viking. They're a great four-star river cruise line, a five-star ocean cruise. I put them there because everyone thinks that they're the only game in town, but just to let you all know, they're all other good companies as well. This is from highest priced to lowest, but this is also to show you that we're even less priced than the four-star river cruise line, and we're a five-star. So we're a great value, can't be beat on those. This shows you which ones include port charges, like the last two here, and theirs are another 220 to 224 to 240. So just to give you a little bit of perspective on price, so you'll know that what I'm telling you is true. We're a five-star river cruise line for the four-star price. What's included? All these great things, your gourmet meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks as well, your red and white and local beer, lunch and dinner as much as you want, your coffee, tea, soft drinks, drinks, lunch and dinner, coffee station, cocktail reception, welcome dinner, the gala dinner, entertainment that's on board, piano music, um, pools, gyms, bicycles. We have regular bicycles and we have electric bicycles as well. There are no charge. And of course, a great cruise director and the taxes that I can mention. So pretty much everything a five-star river cruise is going to give you. No surprises. Some of the other benefits, again, the single charge surcharge, like I mentioned, 15 for C's, 30 for B's, 50 for A's, 60s for, 30s for B's, B4s, 50 for 30 for B4s, 50 for B1s, 60 for A's, and then suites are 100% more than the double occupancy. So most are 150 from the get-go, 175 and then 100. We at least can graduate it up, and it's a really good savings. Families, like I mentioned, we have loyalty programs. The more you go, the more upgrades, the more onboard credit you have. If you are coming from another river cruise line and you're getting a loyalty program, if you can show that to Monica, I will match that, any perks from my fellow river cruise companies. Again, the options are shore excursions, your transfers. We do have a highlight dinner for groups. And we have 28, 29 different itineraries, all from in between Amsterdam all the way to Romania, all in between North France, Southern France, 29 different itineraries you can choose from. The most popular is the Rhine and the Danube. Those are the top two. Okay. And this the Monica's group is going to be going right here in I didn't want to do that. Let me go back here. Let me go back. Well, it's going to be right in here, Cologne in Germany, and basically go all the way down to Basel, going to Strasbourg, making their way back up, and finishing in Cologne again. So this is the area here. We do all kinds of golf. We do golf cruises, pickleball cruises, Christmas, all kind of wine cruises, firework cruises, all kinds of great stuff. Just for you'll know, we do everything like everybody else, but just in that area. I know some river cruise lines go to Southeast Asia and other areas. We just stick to our hometown right there. So this is the group space that Monica has taken out. She'll be sailing on this cruise with you, so she'll be with you to take everything, to take care of everything, right, Monica? Everything. You're the one there. No, you have.
Me up for that.
No, you'll have the cruise manager that can take care of everything, but Monica will be there to help you take care of anything else. So you'll be in good hands. So she's going to be doing a fun and New Year's Eve on the Rhine. It's an 8-day cruise. December 28th to January 4th, very festive. People are still in the festive mode because of the holidays. And then of course, New Year's is going to be a blast. And if you want to really, really party, you just ask the crew, hey, where are you guys going to party tonight? And they can tell you if you have any of those like you, Monica, on board. I mean, like any of those on board that really want to really have fun. You just ask the crew where they're going tonight to party, and then you go with them, and you'll have a blast. So you're looking at from $2,011 per person. I mean, that is an incredible price for that 8-day, almost all-inclusive program. That's for the C4. I'm not sure if we had any C4s left, but I think the next level is a C1, and that's still at a good $2,700 and change. So for an 8-day river cruise with all that I mentioned, you can't beat that price. Here's your day to day. You're in Cologne. You're embarking in Cologne. I know Monica will talk to you about your air needs and things of that nature, but you basically fly in that morning of, and if you get there at 9 or 8 or 6 in the morning or 10 or 12, embarkation is not until 3, but you can get to the ship. You can leave your luggage off. You can either get a snack or even sometimes get lunch, depending on what time you get there. But you can leave your luggage and then just go walk around the town, which is awesome to do too. So you don't have to worry about that. Then you're in Mainz. Uh, these are not included, but just some of the things, the highlights you can do. You can go visit the Gutenberg Museum. Then day 3, you're in Strasbourg. Love it. I've done this itinerary maybe 5 or 6 times. Very picturesque. I'll show you a picture of that. Basel, that night is when you're going to have your New Year's gala dinner and party on board, and then you can go out and do more partying until the ship leave. Well, the ship won't leave, and that's the beauty of it. It's overnighting for all those that might not make it back that night. And the beautiful thing about river cruising, as I mentioned, the city center is not very far. And for those that like to indulge, I always tell them to take a golf ball with them. Because at the end of the night, if you're not sure which way to go, you drop the golf ball and it'll almost always go to the river, and you just follow the golf ball back to the ship. That's not from my own personal experience. That's just what I know about others doing. So again, you're in day 5. You're in Basel again to kind of relax on board as you go all the way back up to the middle of the cruise, which will be Speyer and Mannheim. So to have an opportunity to go to Heidelberg and the castle ruins, which I love Heidelberg. I think I've been there 6 times, never have enough of it. The castle is just amazing. Just one of the most complete castles. I mean, part of it is still in ruins, but you'll see what I'm talking about. The picture I have is not that great, but I don't want to spoil it. I want to show you all the pictures, and then you don't want to go, right? So you'll have to go. I'll tease you a little bit about it. Day 7, Rudesheim, another one of my favorite places. So you can go, and you'll be cruising along the romantic Rhine Valley, which you'll have castles and castles to see along the way, and then you'll make your way finally back to Cologne, will you and disembark on day 8 after breakfast. Okay, and this is what it looks like. Cologne, you'll be going all the way pretty much down, then to Strasbourg, Basel, and then going back all the way back up. Okay, and I'm sure she's going to give you a flyer if you already don't have one. This is to show you the package. Very reasonable for package A for 5 pre-selected excursions. So those are the ones, as you can see there, $290. Again, we believe you pay for what you use. And then it only has a B for another $72 more. You get another three. I mean, $72 more to get three more excursions. Pretty reasonable when you divide that by three. So a total of 8 pre-selected excursions for 362. And again, you can pick and choose if you want to pick A and then either do some of these on your own, like the Spire walking tour. The other walking tour, you can do that on your own too if you wanted to. But again, if you want to be with others and have people tell you about what you're going to see, then it's not that expensive to just have to add the other 3 in. This is of the Kara, which is the ship that is going to be going on this date for Monica's cruise. This is the Kara. This is at the front, the middle of the main foyer there. That's the front desk to the left. I'm at the opposite door, as you can see the opposite glass door there at the entrance, looking up to the right. That goes up to the suite level there, and then looking from the middle towards the back, the Vienna Cafe, where you can purchase some really exclusive Vienna specialty coffees and such. And it's a very relaxing area to have your computer and look out at the beautiful scenery, floor to ceiling, as you can see there. I like the lights on the floor, so I took a picture of that. This is the suites from 22 ships onward. You slide those open and you have a chair out there. It's really nice and big. Another floor to ceiling window behind there, and another little couch to the left here. There's a desk on that side with the phone and a little charge area for your little headsets. You always want to remember to take your little headsets and, of course, the little ear things. People will take the battery thing, it goes around their neck, but then they'll leave the earpiece. So always try to remember to take those. You just charge them up every day. Those are free, no charge. There's the desk that I was talking about, and the chair and the little things. Big bathrooms, as you can see. This is 2/3 the size. There's another third on this side of the toilet area. So very big, lots of room to put your stuff. Bathrooms. People always want to purchase the showers all the time after they go on our cruise. There's the suites walk-in closets. Pretty amazing. And those connecting rooms that we have, instead of a mirror here, it's a door to the next room, which is pretty nice. This is that B&A cabin category. Another shot of that. My room that I was in, so you can put that down and have the great views. This is the front of the lounge area where we have the highlight dinner. Again, the dining rooms, back lounge. One of our, again, our workout room, very big. This is like half the size. You got a rowing machine and things over here and dead weight over there. Again, these are actual pictures that I took of my meals right here. And you can see the size. They're not huge, which is great because when I was with the other river cruise line, it was my job to try everything, right? So when I would have the surf and I wanted the turf, I would say, just bring me the fillet. They always bring me the whole plate, and I felt guilty of wasting food. So here, these are small enough to say, you know what? I love this so much. Let me have another one. Or I can't decide on the surf and turf. Surf and turf. Give me one of each. You can do that. So, ladies, when your husband does that, don't give him the elbow in the ribs like my wife used to do. Just let him indulge. He can do so. You can see how nice and just perfect size to have one or more or additional entrees. I already ate and it's making my mouth water.
No.
I bet you guys do. Dessert. Oh, this was nice. People love this. This was after everyone had their desserts. They brought like a little coral made out of chocolate with these beautiful and yummy little treats. So you could just pick one off the coral. Pretty fun. The sun deck, a little nice little putting green. Again, not to take too much time on it, but our ships from 22 on are different. This is everybody else. This is a ship docked next to us. You can see how high they are. They have very flimsy chairs up there because when we go under low bridges, this whole gate of their ship has to lay down to our level. So they can't have anything permanent up there. We can. We have our barbecues, our refrigerators, our beautiful sturdy furniture because we don't have to collapse it 2 or 3 times on a cruise. We can have really nice things up there because we're at that level. We don't have to move our stuff. And this is in front of all that I was just showing you. I sat here, feet up, and it was nice to just sit there and nice, sturdy, soft furniture. So here's part of the itinerary pictures that I'm just showing. You can see how beautiful and no waves on the water. Here's Cologne at night. Look at that. The magnificent of one of the largest cathedrals in Europe right there. I mean, amazing. I mean, when you go in, it's like nothing you've ever seen. So this is Strasbourg in the winter. It doesn't really freeze that much until January, February when no one really sails. So it's really nice to have the white snow, which I don't have on a season like that. But you're not freezing or anything like that. So it's really nice to see it. It doesn't always snow. Even in Christmas markets, it very rarely snow on the ground. So here's Speyer, beautiful little medieval town. I just love these half-timbered houses. This is Heidelberg. Sorry, it's a little blurry. This is a beautiful bridge. We usually park on this side here to the bottom here on the left. We don't usually have to walk across, but there's the castle there when you do the excursion. It's a beautiful castle. This is the big wine cask in that castle. I mean, I think your height is right to here. It's like three times this my height of a barrel that goes back another 30, 40 feet. Can you believe it? Amazing. So this is Rudesheim. It's not a really good picture because as I put it in, it kind of blew it up, so you can't really see the street down here. But it's called the Drosselgasse, and it's just they're a very famous street where you have the restaurants, the bars, the shopping, and they're known for their Rudesheimer coffee, which you can partake with that on one of the excursions there. Again, another beautiful, just half timbered houses that are around the beautiful river. And here's a castle here on the left hand side, and quaint towns along the way as well. And then you're usually going to have a German lunch with the sausages and the sauerkraut and everything, all the fixings there, which I can't wait for that day. It's really fun. So you get onboard entertainment. We usually have locals depending on if how long the ship is going to be there, because we can't bring locals on, and then if the ship is leaving for another 3 hours, we can't just drop them off anywhere. So we have our local duo that's on board that sings until with requests and until the last person leaves, and just some other castles that are along the way, and the churches and the stained glasses. And oh, this is what I love, and this is what I recommend, because you have those audio headsets. I'm listening, and you're usually out front of one of these as the guide is talking and saying all stuff. Well, I'm listening, and they're spending 10 minutes right there in that spot. I'm inside in line. I already grabbed one or two of these treats and munching while I'm walking to the rest of the tour. So you definitely want to take that, because like I said, look at this picture. Look at that. I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it, because don't forget, you're going to be walking almost every day. So you can have a few of these, and you're going to walk it off in a day. So don't worry about it. Another beautiful castle along the way that you can take pictures. I love this house. Look at how crooked it is. How it's been smushed and it's changing in between the others. So here's you're going to be going through some locks as well. And it's really amazing when they'll tell you, okay, we're going to go to this big lock or this lock. You can go on the sun deck in most cases and look over the side, or look out. I'm looking out of my balcony, and literally it's like 10, 12 inches. So you got to be careful sometimes when you stick your head out. Before you stick your head out, I want to make sure you're not on a lock. You can actually touch the wall like I've done many times, and you can see how thin on each side as you go either up as they fill it up with water, or they let it down with water from the higher view, which is pretty fun to watch at least a few times. One of the beautiful pipe organs in one of the churches. Again, I love these architecture along the way. I mean, you can see how the river, how the embankment just goes up, and you'll see some of these vineyards just go way. I mean, you can't walk them. They have these like little little seats that are on a track that take you up, that take the people that mine the the vineyards and to take them up there because it's so steep. It's pretty amazing to watch and be in that sun deck. You know, people always ask port, starboard side. It doesn't matter. You're going to see the same thing. And you know, you don't want to be in your on your balcony when you're hearing commentary when you're going down and watching Castle on Castle because you're going to miss 50% of it. So again, it's 3 minutes to get onto the sun deck, so you have a 360 view of both sides of the view as they're telling you, oh, look on your right or look on your left. So you definitely want to be on the sun deck when they're doing commentary and you're cruising along, and there's shaded areas to sit up there and service up there. Look at that, another goodie from a window that I loved was pretty So winding down, almost done here. Just some important things to consider when you're looking for a river cruise line. With us, nothing frozen. You know, some companies still have frozen, some still bring their breads and desserts on board. Not us. Everything is made from the ship. Again, the wine and tea, all that's included. Our final payment's not a year out and more like some do. Our final payment, it's a 10% deposit, and then 120 days is final payment. More reasonable than a year out in advance. Connecting rooms we talked about. Our guests, 55% of our guests are from North America, 45% are international. And of that 45%, a good 80 to 90% is English speaking, which is nice because one of the biggest things I hear from my TAs when their clients are going is that they're able to meet many people, of course, on board and others from other countries, and they were able to converse with them because they spoke English. And if there's any singles out there worried about if I'm going to be by myself, I'm going to be lonely, you're not, because everyone is going to invite you to their table or to invite you to an excursion with them. If you want to be alone, that's fine too. Our dining room normally sits, 175. Some again, if all 190 show up to dining, they're not going to they're going to bring out the folding chairs, or you're going to be back to back on your seats. With us, you have plenty of room to walk in between tables, and if you want to be by yourself, you can go to a corner and just a couple can be by themselves. So because we have more seats than people. English is the main language on board with all the announcements. We have all those wonderful common areas like I mentioned, and the elevators like I mentioned. Just to recap what we talked about in the beginning here, and that's pretty much it. I think I went over everything, but I'm open for all the questions on the itinerary. The Cara holds 162 passengers, just so you'll know. Any questions?
Thank you, Steve. Yay. Yeah.
Thank you. I hear all the.
I know.
Right.
Yeah. And just to be clear, I do have two separate itineraries blocked. I
Right.
know about the Danube, that was September of 2026. And then there's also the Rhine for New Year's, that's 2025 over 2026. So it's
The,
two
the one
different
the
Yeah.
one I featured basically there. And I know people say, gosh, what 2026? Well, because of the demand for river cruising, because of the small numbers on the ship, again, we're not 6,000, that are out there. You're looking at 162, 158 average. And because of the pent-up demand, um, space is gone. In other words, if you wait to book the 26 one that Monica has in 6 months, it probably is not going to be there. And she can only hold it for so long, for 90 days, and then she has to give unused back and book per availability or wait list. So I know it seems a long way off, but that's just the reality of river cruising. And if you want to go and you don't want to hassle the wait list and keep checking and keep checking and keep checking, which they do clear, but it's just stressful for everybody. Is just grab that. If you know you want to go, grab that and leave that only 10% deposit and to hold your space there. And with groups, we can do name changes and work a few things and get you a refund as long as we replace your cabin with someone else leaving a deposit. So that's kind of a way out for you. And of course, getting insurance is also, of course, important as well, which I'm sure Monica will have you do. So yeah, she's doing two just doing the New Year's, and many of my TAs do that, and you can book both. You know, you don't have to book one or the other. You can book the one that's coming up soon. Before you know it, it's gonna be here. You know how time flies. And then if you want to wait till after you go on the first one and then book it, it probably won't be available. But you know, it's up to you, and I get it.
Yeah, no, and that was the hard thing, is to find enough group space or cabins.
Yeah,
available,
we
for
couldn't even find it.
2025. So
Yep.
it was tough. So, you know, New Year's sounded kind of like a fun idea. And it's a great way to kind of get started. The price point is a little bit lower than the
Yep.
Danube.
Yeah,
I'll be handing out these
yep, we don't.
to everybody. This is the Danube.
Going.
Nope.
No,
that's
no,
fine.
don't
That's a
go
different
with
one. Yep,
Sorry.
that's
don't
okay.
call us.
that's okay.
Yeah.
They're very similar in pricing. So,
So the New Year's one is probably off the books.
yeah, but you know, like, you never know, if this,
Oh.
if these dates or these itineraries are not for you, it's not a big deal. I just need to know. These cabins are actually held. They just need your name on it. So I can only hold them for like probably another 35 days or 45 days or something like that. I don't remember what it is, but yeah. And I think the pricing that Steve showed for the like the lowest cabin category on the Danube, I want to say.
No, that was the Rhine. I
For
showed
the
the Rhine.
Rhine, yeah,
Yeah.
it just wasn't available at the moment that I pulled all those, you know, all the cabins, so it might be available now. I just don't know. So if you
And you
have,
can always wait for it. You can always
Yeah.
wait list for it as well.
Yeah. yeah, so I just need to know. Yeah, if there's any interest. So any questions though, ladies?
Okay, I
Yeah.
just have one question then. It's a foodie question.
Uh-huh.
because The Rhine and the whole German, I mean, obviously I'm geographically.
It's okay.
But I do not like that kind of, so
Okay.
on the boat, if you're eating on the boat most of the time.
They have different options,
Are
right? Options.
Yeah.
you gonna get sausage and sauerkraut?
No.
So many options.
I mean, I don't know if you can hear her question, Steve.
Yeah, you have local cuisine always. People want local cuisine when they go to a certain area. They don't want to have Australian food, you know, or Chinese food. So it's going to be of the area. But you know, we can handle all dietary needs as long as we get enough notice, you know, a good month or two in advance. We want to know any dietary needs, and it's always good to always check in with the maitre d' again and let them know, and your server, of your dietary needs. It's always good to triple check on that, but we're very good at, everyone's really good at doing that nowadays. I've been pretty impressed with someone the first day saying, I have this, I have that, and because they didn't tell us. And then by that evening, she's had special meals for her prepared and things of that nature. So there's always like a chicken breast and some fries or something. But yeah, you'll have, you know, one or two options on each level there, and then usually what, two or three options, and vegetarian options to select from the menus as well. And again, in lunch and breakfast, you can pick and choose from the buffet, and then you can also pick from a menu with the same thing with some options there for you to choose.
Yeah, so Kara and I went on this line last year in March, and we were very pleased with the food. We're kind of picky. I'll admit it, we're kind of picky. And it was very nice. We had lots of very nice meals, and wine was great. There was a couple of wines that we really enjoyed that were, I think I had, I know, and I think we had it at every meal. But yeah, it was, you know, like you said, that you could go up to the, I don't remember what it's called, the lounge or whatever for the buffet, and they like have a fresh, you know, they make pasta or whatever, you know, that kind of pasta line, or it's sandwiches, or it's, you know, something like that. And then,
Light
Yeah.
lunch, yeah.
yeah, and then you can go downstairs to the actual dining room. Yeah, and then they have a menu, you can pick, you know, 4 or 5 different things, right? Or whatever number it is.
Yep,
They have a little bit less during lunch, but, yeah, I mean, I was kind of, you know, like, I'm skeptical. I'm like, you know, we dined on a couple other, ships while we were there, and yeah, some are just not up to par.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've sailed on others and the other line I work for, and I've sailed 4 or 5 times on ours, and I gotta say, the meals have never disappointed me. I mean, sometimes you'll have someone say, "Oh gosh, I didn't like this," but it's
Yeah.
personal. Sometimes when we get a complaint, we look at all the guests' comments, and when no one else is complaining, it's just 1 or 2 people. You kind of go, "Okay, well, they just had different tastes or different thoughts of what they were going to get, and maybe weren't happy with a sandwich." And I've had that situation too, where it's like, I was okay, it wasn't well, the best I've ever had, but it was not bad. So it's great when you don't have something like, ooh, what the heck was this, So I'm pretty impressed with the food. So just like Monica said, you won't be disappointed with the food.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't. What's the very approximate ballpark for the flight?
Oh, gosh, it totally depends.
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't even, it's probably gonna be, like, if it's
5,000.
for per person, no. I mean, if you go first class or something,
Business class.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, business class would probably be at that.
Yeah.
That rate.
But economy, I mean, it depends on the time of year, depends on the airline, but
I've seen them, from
100.
1,200, anything around there. But when you look at, you're not having to pay 4,000 from a competitive line. It's going to save you in your air, so a lot more in your air, because when you're looking at paying 4,000 instead of 2,500 for another line, then you guys still spend the same on the air. At least with us, you're saving there. So the whole overall package with your air is still going to be better than anything you can get out there in a 5-star product.
yep, yep. Yeah, thanks.
All right, and there were no questions online? Okay, awesome.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up and say goodbye to Steve, and I will be emailing some more information to everybody who's registered and everything. So I really appreciate your time, Steve. Thank you.
My
so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Good to see y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Till next time.
Till
Bye.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.